World War II started with a surprise attack by Japan on Pearl Harbor. And it took Americans a long time to get their minds around what was happening at the time that it happened, and then shortly afterwards to understand why they would be attacked in this way, by surprise. Americans had a difficult time getting their minds around the financial collapse that happened in this country, and the attack that we've seen on the American workers and the middle class and the poor by the wealthy. A class war? Yes, that's exactly what's happening. A surprise attack? Well, we were a peaceful nation, a peaceful group of people, just minding our own business when the wealthy didn't feel like they had enough. It's not as though they haven't been able to enrich themselves over the last decade, or since Ronald Reagan started to take the rights away. Of course, they have a very convincing source of rhetoric that allows many to believe that they too are represented by the Republican Party, and that the wealthy will take care of them as well. We can see the surprise attack has now become pretty blatant, and the longer that they push, and the more that they ask for, and the more that they demand, the more the American people were willing to give. Until now, of course, it's become a fight, and American workers are waking up. After the bombing of Pearl Harbor, Admiral Yamamoto stated that he had maybe awoken a sleeping giant and filled it with a great resolve. It wasn't enough that the wealthy were taking from American workers all that they could, in every way that they can, by buying our government and our officials that are supposed to represent us. But now they attack our collective bargaining rights and our rights to stand together as workers to demand more and a better life. We can see that that life's dissipated over the last decade especially, and that the wealthy have become more wealthy, and they extract that wealth from us at the expense of our lives and what it is that we dream of having in this country, what we deserve. America was designed and created for the people in this country, not for corporations. But we can see that's no longer the case because corporations can blatantly buy our politicians and tell them what they're going to do in order to make more money, and more money, and more money. And it's never enough with them. American workers are beginning to see that, yes, who they voted in the last election in November aren't doing exactly what they claimed to do, what they said they would do, what they promised that they would do, what they ran on the platform of doing, and that was to create jobs. No, they lied to the American people and then took the opportunity to push a very socially conservative agenda and to cut back in programs on the middle class, but not the wealthy. They had an opportunity when they said that the budget and the deficit was the most important thing to raise taxes on the wealthiest of Americans, but didn't want to do that. They could have helped to close that gap, but failed to do so because the wealthy people are paying their contributions to their campaigns. American workers are waking up, and they're being filled again with a great resolve. The line in the sand is being drawn by the workers, and workers are realizing, whether they be Republicans or Democrats, that the wealthy have begun a war against us here, workers in this country.